craps have been around for a long time. And I know you have a degree in, mathematics from your own brain.
Casino trip, full of chips. Wanna flip, double it.
Welcome to the Full of Chips podcast, the only chips you'll never lose, where the stakes are high, the takes are bold, and the conversations are always full of chips. With your hosts, Chris, the Dice Degen, and Craig from Old Bay Craps. You're tuned in to Full of Chips, the podcast where we dive into our own experiences into the world of gambling and share stories straight from the casino floor. Whether you're a recreational gambler, a seasoned pro, or just curious what the buzz is all about, you're in the right place. Each week, we break down the games, talk to the experts, and bring you tips that could tilt the odds in your favor. So grab your lucky charm, stack your chips, and let's roll into today's episode.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 57 of the Full of Chips podcast, the only chips you will never lose, with your hosts, Chris the Dice Degen and Craig from Old Bay Craps. Craig, how we doing today?
I'm done with today, but we got to do the recording. So I'm fighting to get the energy to getting pumped. I'm pumped because we're here, we're recording, but as far as the day is concerned, it's done. Like a steak, too well done. It's it's tough and you can't eat it. You can't.
Unedible. It's like a boot.
Unedible.
We don't want that.
I couldn't even think of the word unedible. Is it unedible or inedible? I never know. But anyway.
Actually, that's a great question because I've heard it inedible and I've heard unedible. I've always said unedible.
Well, I know it's not unreadable, it's illegible. I got that part, but
yeah. All right. So now we have to look up. So I've been wrong my entire life. It's inedible.
Inedible. Okay. So my instinct was right.
Or uneatable.
Uneatable. Okay. Well, either or, it's been a day.
Who would have thought the folks at home would be getting a vocabulary grammar lesson on the Full of Chips podcast?
It's been a week because yesterday was just Monday and today is Tuesday, and we're already having back-to-back nights of drinks. So
it's been a week already, huh?
And we know we might have one more this week. So
probably have one more this week. We'll see. We may see. The world,
oh, man.
The world will know soon. All right, I gotta turn this hat around because I look like an idiot with it backwards. You ever have that problem? Certain hats just can't be worn backwards. This is one of them. I don't know why I thought I could wear it backwards.
I look horrible in a hat, and you always wear hats, so I only know you with a hat. When you don't have a hat on, I'm like a dog turning its neck. What?
When I actually do my hair, no, my hair is like a mop right now. It's crazy. So I have a hat on because I literally just got out of the shower like 10 minutes ago.
That's too much information. TMI, buddy.
TMI. I had to be clean for the folks at home,
Hey, what they need to know is table's back up on at least behind.
I see that. It's behind you.
I had it out already because of the sun was so blaring in the office. I had to use it to cover up the window because we don't have curtains there. So I was like, you know what? It's out. So let's go ahead and put it in front of the black curtain. And then there we go.
There you go. It's the original backup.
We may be done with showings, Chris.
Woo? That's exciting.
And if that's the case, then I don't have to worry about taking this down until we move. So we'll see. Don't have the official word yet, but we'll see.
Hopefully. Your fingers crossed.
Yeah. Fingers crossed, drinks crossed. I mean, I guess you could do drinks crossed. But I may have given away what I've got tonight, which is more bullet bourbon, but this time with caffeine-free Coke, because the Diet Coke didn't get put in the fridge.
Whose fault was that? Oh, well, then it's not your fault. It was
happenstance.
Yeah, it's because of the long week that's been occurring. That's what it was.
There you go. Yeah. Absolutely. 100%.
Never admit fault. I was told that. Never admit fault.
I want to say something, and I've been holding back. People like Full of Chips. More people like Full of Chips. We're catching on. We're catching on to the good folks of the world, and we're liking it. Yeah,
we are liking it. And for the folks who are potentially new here, or if you are a avid listener and you haven't subscribed or followed yet, please do so. Support your boys,
That's right.
just follow, do something. Let us know that you like it.
Tell us you like it. Tell us. Don't just
Tell
put a
us.
thumbs up. Anybody can put a thumbs up, and we do appreciate those. But
Yeah.
tell us how you really feel. It's funny, you put out a video today that I watched, and at first I couldn't see the comment because it was on top versus new. So I clicked on new, and then I saw the comment, and I was like, another person just sharing their opinion.
On my video today?
Yeah.
Oh, well, now we'll have to go check. I have not actually checked what my comments were on my video today.
I always check the comments.
Oh, wow, a positive comment. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? I'm not
DJ
used to getting those.
That's
I'm
right.
not used to getting those. I'll be honest with you.
There you go.
It's a pleasantly surprising comment. Wow. Thank you, sir. I'll respond back to you later. I don't want to do it live on the podcast, but yeah. Funny enough, I am not used to getting positive comments. Well, I should say I get some positive comments.
Yes.
But my positive comments are outweighed by negative comments at least 3, if not 4, maybe 10 to 1.
I think you have a treasure trove of negative emails.
Oh, yes. Like we could do multiple episodes on the amount of negative comments, negative emails, and yes, I have them all saved in case anybody cares how sick in the head I am. I actually save those emails.
Yeah.
Because you know how Gmail sometimes deletes your emails after a certain amount of time. I don't know what the retention policy for Gmail is. I'm very familiar with Outlook because of work, pain in the ass. But I have the those emails in a special folder saved.
Yes. Well,
Yes.
how I've told you in the past, you have to matter to get any kind of email. Old Bay Craps doesn't get emails. I've probably gotten 3 emails the entire time I've had a channel. I've gotten negative comments in videos like anybody else, and we love the people who point out the time code of when you said something or when you didn't pay yourself. And you're like, yep. So you paid attention to that, but didn't get the concept of the video at all. Interesting.
Usually that's the case. They're just looking for something that you did wrong. That's what they want to see more often than not.
Here on FOC, no one cares. So, so what are you doing? How was your weekend?
The weekend, what did I do this weekend? The weekend was all right. Weather kind of sucked.
Yes.
But weekend was okay. Did some, yard work around the house. Always got to keep the Casa del Degen looking good. So did some of that. Did a lot of like cooking this weekend. Did a lot of cooking. We got some potential health news, not for me, but for the wife. So we're on some special diets, let's say.
Gotcha.
And like timed eating and all this other stuff. So like normally I meal prep, but I don't meal prep a ton. So what I try to meal prep normally is like try to meal prep like our carb sources that we're gonna eat.
Right.
Because I don't know about you. I don't like meat reheated, really. Like I prefer like if I'm gonna have chicken, steak, pork, whatever it may be, like I prefer to cook that and then eat it fresh, like not reheated, if that makes sense.
It's like fries. Fries taste shitty the next day. Now, I will say it's all changed because of the air fryer.
That is true.
Because that's the point.
Don't get me wrong.
And I do the same thing with pizza. Most people would say, oh, well, obviously there are some people like me who love pizza hot, cold, mild. I don't care. It's pizza. However, if it has been in the fridge overnight, what I like to do is get out a piece of tin foil, put the pizza on that, and put it in the oven on broil for 4 minutes. And that gets it crispy as if it came out of a brick oven. That's what I like.
There you go. Yeah. I air fry my pizza to reheat it.
There you go.
Oven is good too. I actually made pizza this weekend. For a little unknown fact for some people who may not know, when I was in college, I did work at a pizza place. So I have a pizza oven outside.
Nice.
And we made pizza this week. And I think I may have perfected the gluten-free crust. And if people don't know how hard gluten-free anything is for that matter, try it once and let me
To make
know
it
what
taste
you think
good?
of it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I've
Yeah,
had a
and like
gluten-free pizza, but I don't know.
it was a
I
cardboard.
could kudos to you if it tasted good.
It tasted good, and I actually got it like airy and crunchy, like a regular pizza crust should
There
be.
you go.
It's been a work in progress for a long time, but so that was good. But yeah, I did a lot of cooking, but I do a lot of like cooking the carb sources, so I can just reheat those, and then
Yeah.
I like to cook like the meat fresh and stuff. Certain things I can reheat, and it's not that I won't eat it reheated. I just prefer it fresh.
No, I get it. I will tell you that I have not perfected it yet, but I did make Philly cheesesteaks over the weekend with the
Oh,
Cooper Sharp
of course. There you
and the
go.
ribeye. However, what I learned is that from this point forward, I will never make cheesesteaks unless I've gone to the butcher and asked for a specific way I want my ribeye. Because
Okay.
prepackaged ribeye, and I think even you said it because I think you used prepackaged ribeye when I had it at your house, and you were like, "This is not the best stuff." So but you made it, and I ate it, and it was great. But maybe I felt the same way after I made it. Like it tasted
Mm-hmm.
awesome, and it's what is blowing my mind, Chris, is that there are no ingredients for Philly cheesesteaks. You just cook the ribeye, you cook onions, you slap some cheese on it, and you have at it.
Yep.
It's the simplest meal. It should be its own food group. Vegetables, fruit, cheesesteak, Philly cheesesteak. It should have its
I
own
agree.
food group. I
Should.
I don't know what to tell you, but I will tell you that from this point on, I will specifically go to a butcher and ask for ribeye shaved. I
Yeah.
want that
It's
shit like, yeah, thin.
yeah, it's you can get some prepackaged stuff that's okay. Or like if you go to the butcher and you ask for like chip steak and if they have it, that works too.
Yeah,
But yeah, it definitely like I have grown, I guess, from getting like the prepackaged stuff in the store that I usually used to get now. And I mean, for the past while, always gotten like I just go to the butcher and get it cut because it tastes so much better. It
yeah.
melts in your mouth better. So and I'm a purveyor of some of the finer things. Shocking, earth-shattering news to some people probably. But I'd rather, spend the money and have a good cheesesteak than not have a good cheesesteak.
Well, let's be honest. You're a Philly guy. It's
Yeah,
like you came out of the womb eating a cheesesteak. Um,
true.
so same thing for me, which I know you don't like, but same thing for me. If I'm going to invest all my time and effort into the amount of time it takes to make crab soup to perfection, which I happen to
Yep.
think it's better than any fucking restaurant. I don't care. You can compare, you can buy it, bring it to the house. I'll make mine and we'll compare. Same thing with a cheesesteak. If I'm going to make a cheesesteak, I'm going to make it right. And
Yeah.
this was my first attempt at it. Look, it took me 4 tries to get the crab soup the way I like it, and it's a little bit different version than my father's, but it's a family recipe. Each generation has their own little take on it, and I found my
Mm-hmm.
niche. I found the way I like to do it, and this is the way I do it. And every family member on my father's side, because he's the one that made it. Every time I go to a poker game over there, like 3-4 times a year, all of them first thing they out of their mouth is, "Wow, it's like your dad's here." That's the best compliment.
Oh
So
yeah.
if I were to make a cheesesteak and had you come over and eat it, I would want you to say, "Damn, that was a fine cheesesteak," because you
Oh
know,
yeah.
you know.
Oh yeah. I mean, like there is no better compliment than like, especially if it is a family recipe that like, oh, this tastes like that person's.
Right.
Like that's like a pat on the back, job well done. Like that's the goal that I was looking for there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, you always got to tweak stuff and I always like when people put like a spin on things, right? Because like, I mean, I learned to cook from like a young age. So like, my mom taught me how to make her stuff. And at first, I was making it the way she made it, right? But then
Yeah.
throughout time, play with things here and there, tweak it a little bit. And when they give you the approval, like, oh, this is good, then it's like, oh, I may have found something here.
That's the thing. And see, the people that I made the crepes for the poker games, I was going to my aunt's house, and my uncle came, and they're the brother and sister of my dad who passed. So it's like if I got their approval, then I know I did something right.
Oh
You
yeah,
know.
for sure, for
So yeah.
sure.
So, but if I'm gonna do a Philly cheesesteak, Chris, it's got to be done right, and it for everybody. FOC certifies and approves having and knowing your own butcher.
Yes. Oh yes, 100%. Like I can't tell you how great it is when you have a butcher and you know the butcher and like then they start to know you
Yep.
and they know what you like and then like I had one that I used to go to it was in Jersey. Great butcher. There may be a few listeners who are actually relatively close to said butcher. So if you are in South Jersey and you would like the name of the butcher that I went to, I can let you know. You'll have to reach out to me for that though. I will not broadcast it on the podcast. Because it's secret. But it got to the point where like I was there so often and they would like legitimately like save cuts of meat because they knew I was coming.
Well, we used to have a butcher. Now he passed away like probably over a decade ago, but he had his shop like, and I live in a town, so
Mhm.
town's close community and all, and it was Pepe's Meats, and it's like the moment you walk through the door, like it hits you, like the meats just hit
Mhm.
you. You're like, my God, this is like being at grandma's house when you're a real young kid, like
Yeah.
5 years old or something, and they get it fresh from the butcher. Because this
Yep.
guy, to this day, I have never had a shrimp salad sandwich the way that he made it, and he made it to like where it's bowling over with shrimp. Like it's so much shrimp. And
Yeah.
it's hard to find like good types of certain dishes, and you cling to that. You cling to like if you find it at your butcher and your butcher makes exactly what you like in their case, or they cut the meat the way you like, then you found your butcher. If you
Yep.
haven't, you need to keep shopping around.
You can keep looking. And it's a shame too, because I feel like, a lot like especially with butchers, right? Like they're starting to sort of go out of like style almost where like it's
Yep.
kind of hard to find them because everyone goes to like, their grocery store to buy meat and like other stuff, right? And yes, it's probably a better price, but the cut may not be as good and like you lose that mom and pop type feel. um
Yeah.
and yeah, there's still like, for example, tomato pie, right? That's like a big Philly thing. It's an Italian thing. um there is one place and one place only that I will get tomato pie, and I have not found one yet that has been close. I will try it, a new spot. I still have yet to find one that has been close, and I will not sacrifice on that one. I will give it a taste test. If it is not what I'm looking for, nope, 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 nope.
So in Maryland, that's the same, or maybe equivalent, not as equivalent, but stewed tomatoes. I have yet to
Okay.
find a place that makes stewed tomatoes the way my grandmother made it. Like I've even tried an attempted stewed tomatoes, and it sort of tasted like hers, but it wasn't. It wasn't really. And uh, most restaurants, you can't even find it on the menu. Nobody makes it.
No.
And that's the problem, like with these mom and pop things just dying left and right. And it's really sucks because I tend you see you tend to get it more in the small town communities. And the area where we want to move into is sort of a small up and coming place. So I want to get there and find out where the butcher is and see what I can get there. But yeah, I tried making stewed tomatoes. Not even close. Nobody sells it. No restaurants have it. So it's like, unless I learn to make it the way I want, I'll never have it.
Yeah. It's tough sometimes. Sometimes and I feel like I haven't made them. I know people who have. Like that's a time consuming process. It's not a quick thing either.
I did find out something through happenstance cooking that I was like, oh, grandma used that. Okay.
Yeah.
And that was like, I could never get like string beans to taste the way that she made them. And then I was like, oh, she just used chicken broth or
Yeah.
vegetable broth
Yeah.
in the pan I was like, oh, okay. So then I started like adding like, you know, chopped up garlic in there with butter, like, just trying to make it my own. And it was like, oh, that's how she did. She just put broth in there. I thought she like made it from scratch. Like, no, she just used broth. Okay.
sometimes you get those tips and tricks from the grandmom, and you learn.
However, I don't know if you've ever had a Jello bowl, Chris. And I know we're really going for food here, but have you ever had
Uh,
a Jello bowl?
explain a Jello bowl to me because I feel like I've had something similar, but I wasn't called the Jello bowl, but like maybe. So
Well,
explain.
it was called a mold, not a bowl.
Okay.
So back in the day, you know that there used to be could be various colors. I always remember yellow Tupperware bowls, and
Mm-hmm.
the bottom of the Tupperware bowl had like separation at the very bottom, so it looked like a star kind of thing. So
Yeah,
you make all
I've
the
got my
ingredients.
grandmom's in my kitchen.
There you go. You make the Jello mold in there. Now she didn't make Jello like you think of like Jello, the instant box Jello. She made like a green, like almost like a pudding mold, a green pudding mold. And it sounds weird saying it, but it's one where you make it and then once it is in the fridge and it solidifies, you serve it turned over and you have your mold. But
Okay. Was
oh,
there
that shit
anything
was good.
in the Jello?
There was, but I can't remember. I haven't had it in 20 years.
Okay. So my grandmom used to make something similar in like the same type of bowl of sorts, and it would be served upside down. But she actually used like Jello. And it was like fruit and like nuts in there.
Yes, yes, but it was green. She did hers green.
Okay. Yeah, my grandma did whatever kind of Jello. Like it was weird. Her thing was like orange Jello, which like none of the grandkids really liked. Like none of us liked orange Jello, but that's what she liked, so that's what she always made. So we ate it. But sometimes she did green. Sometimes she did like the what's it, cherry, I guess red,
Yeah,
or whatever. But like it was whatever Jello she had. But then there was like cut up strawberries and like blueberries and other stuff in there, and then nuts and like other stuff, and then you always put whipped cream on top.
it'd be a Thanksgiving plate of like this much turkey, this much mashed potatoes, and this much Jello mold with the
There you
fruit.
go. Yep. It's one of those things that like 'cause we're so off topic, but I love it.
Well, yeah,
Because now I'm getting hungry talking about food. But we had I don't know, like my family's usually pretty good at like for Thanksgiving, right? Like you have your dinner foods and you have your dessert foods, and there's really no crossover,
now
right? Like the only semi thing that like could be considered dessert that was at Thanksgiving dinner was like the sweet potato casserole, depending who made it, because sometimes whoever made it put way too much sugar in it and it was like actual dessert. Um,
yeah,
but we went, I forget where we went. We just went somewhere recently, and like they had everything mixed. So it was like dinner foods were out, but dessert was out too, like all interspersed. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, well, I have a ridiculous sweet tooth sometimes. So like I'm gonna go for the dessert and I don't need the dinner.
yeah. No, uh, it's funny because I remember like the table was set and had everything for Thanksgiving, and then it was all like almost like somebody came in and just took it all away, and now the entire spread was nothing but desserts, and it
Yeah.
was it was cake, pudding, cheesecake, uh, pies galore, like 3, 4 pies. I'm like, she literally must have stayed up all night cooking that stuff. Like I did, it
Mm-hmm.
was magic. It was magic.
Oh yeah. And like my favorite part too was like where it was coming from, because like my grandma would hide it. So like she's going to like this cabinet to grab. I'm like, where'd that come from?
Right.
And then like here to grab this, and I'm like, what? Like it's been sitting in there the whole time, because she knew that if I saw it, I'd probably eat it.
It's about as ridiculous as our first topic
Probably, which is
because
also a learned topic, just like
it
cooking.
is.
It all comes full circle.
Oh, it's a learned topic, and we're revisiting it. And I didn't give much for Chris to go on. I gave him the topic "Comeout Game" revisited, and he's like, "What are we diving into?" And I think what we're diving into is we've already had episodes about specific things on the Comeout roll. I think what we're talking about here is why do players seem to lose their minds before a point's even established? It's really uncanny. I mean, the superstition just starts and there's like 5 seconds hasn't even gone by. And the only thing I can equate it to, Chris, is the come out game becomes like an emotional roulette where they're just like putting things here, 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 all in the prop section. and then and then they're also backing it up with a field bet. And it's
Yeah.
like they couldn't be more hybrid, but also more ridiculous in the prop section. And I was like, I wanted to get your thoughts on why does it seem that players lose their minds before a point's established?
So to me, the Comeout game is the best way I can describe the Comeout game in a totality around the whole table is organized chaos, because you have some organized players who have a structured Comeout game, and then you have like the pure, like you're talking about, just chaos everywhere. Like they don't even know what they have. Then you see them tossing other bets in, and it's like, give me, Craig will say, yo, give me a horn high, yo, right? And then the guy next to him, yeah, give me a horn high, yo. And then give me an ace deuce straight up and aces straight up, and I'm going to throw this in the field too. It's like, you got this, you got the aces covered 3 times, dude. What are we doing here? Like what is going on?
It's almost like,
But
concentrate all your money on like a world bet.
yeah,
It's going to pay similar, but you're covered.
Well, here's the thing with the Comeout game too, and I think a lot of people overcomplicate the Comeout game a ton, right? I think everybody, especially on like the hedgy bullshit that you and I both hate, right? Where it's like, okay, if this happens, this wins, this loses, this loses, this loses, I'm covered here. But then if this rolls, I'm losing here, but I'm covered here, but I'm still losing here. So I got to figure out. And it's like, why? Whoa. Why so complicated? Like, and it'll never fail to surprise me when people try to cover like every possible roll. Like, guys, the game of craps, you're not going to be able to win on every roll, or else the casino wouldn't exist and everybody would be doing it. Okay? Craps have been around for a long time. And I know you have a degree in, mathematics from your own brain, but like you're not going to outsmart the game and like magically find a way to make these most ridiculous bets like profitable, especially when you're hedging like 6 different ways. I'll never understand that. Like for the people who hedge, and it happens a lot on Comeout games, I feel like, right? Like, yes, we can all hedge once a point's set, but the hedge there is pretty straightforward, right? The Comeout game is just like, Einstein's coming out over here and they're like, I got all these different ways to win. And next thing you know, when the dice actually rolls, they still owe money. Like to get their bets resituated, they still have to toss money in. It's like, you didn't figure shit out. You lost. Like, let's simplify the game.
No, this is why we're revisiting this and digging into it right now, because the funny shit we see, Chris, and the chaos and the delusion of these players who really this is the opening act in the Tone Center, right? And this is when they come to the table and they're like, hey, are we doing this or what? Like, doing what? We're playing here, betting here, bet this, bet that. And to go with what you were saying, they're going, well, I'm guaranteeing myself $3 to $5. You're guaranteeing yourself $3 to $5. When if you just put it on, like, let's say the world bet, you could win $52 if it hits. It may not hit.
Yeah.
But again, if the 7 comes, you're covered. It doesn't come down. But if a 2 or 12 hits, yeah. If an 11 hits, you win there and you win the pass line if you're playing it. But it's like, they play everything to hedge everything just to win $3 to $5. How long do you plan on being there? Do you plan on being there for 2 days? You'll make money if you're there for 2 days playing that way, I guess. But
yeah,
it's going to take 2 days just to make $100.
They always forget though, like that one number that's gonna royally screw them and like knock everything. Because like, yes, right, they're gonna win like $3 to $5, but then there's that one number combination that like they lose on everything practically, and then when that number comes out, it's, oh my, how did this happen? Like, there's no way. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, yes, there is a way. And if you were such an Einstein, you would have figured out that, is that worth it for $3? Probably not. Like, stick to your pass line, stick to your horn bet, stick to your world bet, and that's it. Like, and I must confess, right? I have been guilty in the past of like some very convoluted Comeout games. I've learned over time, just being an idiot by doing it. Like,
oh, of course.
Sometimes the keep it simple stupid is actually like the best way to play it because like now pass line, world bet. Sometimes I'll throw in an ace deuce to cover the pass line. Yeah, there's a little hedge in there, but there's an object behind it
But
to
that's
keep
not
my
hedging. But that's not hedging,
correct.
Chris. When you're putting $2 in the ace deuce, you're just bringing
Yeah,
the ace deuce up to the same level as everything else.
that and the key point there, right? I'm bringing it to that level, so then my progression stays the same if one of those horns were to come out.
Right.
Right. So yeah, it's not really hedging. Even though people want to tell me it's a hedge because I'm hedging my pass line. I don't give a flying shit about the pass line, I'll be honest with you. I really don't. I want to see horns. That's what I want to see. And people are like, well, you're gonna lose your pass line. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. Give me 2 or 3 horns and you'll see how much that minimum pass line means to me.
Well, no, I mean, well, part of it is, and the reason people play this way is just why it's chaotic, is they play this way and they hedge things, and then they always remember that they forgot one of the bets.
Mm-hmm.
They forgot the pass line, or they forgot to play the NE7, and you know it's a terrible bet. Now, I'm not condoning hedging, but the reason you'll see sometimes if we do a world bet in the pass line, why we also do $1 on each of the any reds, is because I'd rather lose less than lose all of it. I'd rather just lose
Mm-hmm.
less. You know, if the 7 hits, okay, it wins on the pass line, but we know it's going to repay the bonus bets, right?
Yeah.
And that's really there. It's there to just keep pushing on the bonus bets, which means how do I cover the 7? I know it's not going to hurt me on the world bet, but I'm not going to make any profit. So we
Yeah.
just do $3 more. You put it on the any reds, and you can guarantee yourself some profit if the 7 rolls.
Yeah.
Obviously, if the
No, that's
11
very
rolls,
true.
you're winning in 2 places. It doesn't knock down your bonus bets. It's the ace deuce that you're doing that little same thing with the hop in reds for $1 each. You're doing with the $2 on the ace deuce. You're just making sure that
Yep.
you make something when something hits. But to your point, with people who are just placing stuff everywhere as if they wanted to actually just cover every number for one time with one chip, every single thing on the entire board. To your point, them dropping bets everywhere and covering everything, and then a 6 rolls. Like it just makes it like the stupidest thing you just did at the table.
Mm-hmm.
And you like, I would guarantee you, Chris, that at least half, maybe majority of the people who go bananas on the come out roll waste a third of their bankroll right there. One roll.
Yep.
First roll of
And
the game. First roll of the game. Just walked up to the table, bought in for 500, and they wasted 150 on the come out roll.
Very, very key point right there, right? Because so many people waste so much money on the come out roll. And like you were just saying, right? That is like the opening act of being at the table, right? And what's worse than getting up to the table, first roll, you bet like a bandit, and then boom, box number rolls and like you're down, like you said. I mean, even if you're down, $50, whatever it may be for your center bullshit you were doing, like you made the game so much harder now because now you're already behind. Now you got to fight just to recoup what you lost on roll number 1. Forget about what your normal spread looks like, right? Like, again, it's why the simplicity sometimes is bliss because like on a world bet, sure, I may have lost $5, may have lost $10, may have lost a quarter, whatever it was. Okay, fine, right? I didn't throw and splash chips everywhere in the middle that now I'm fighting from super behind to even get even on the shooter. And we all know the average rolls, right? Anywhere from 6 to 8, whoever you want to ask. Well, is that 6 to 8 going to get you what you have out there covered plus what you've already lost by being an idiot in the beginning and going for that crazy stuff? Like, yes, you can make a lot of money on a come out game, but you have to have a structure to it. And it comes down to discipline, right? We love talking about discipline on here, but like there's honestly nothing better than like a disciplined come out game because you can make a hell of a lot more money playing that way and save yourself a shit ton of money by not being an idiot just splashing chips everywhere in the prop section on a come out roll.
What's interesting is let's say you spent 15 on the pass line, 15 on the bonus, 15 on the world bet. You're playing the horn for $12. You're doing, a CNE for 5 each. Okay, so that's 15, 15, 15. That's 45 plus another 12 and a CNE for 10. That's 22. All right, so that's $67.
62.
60.
Yep.
Okay, 62. Then throw another nickel on something because I'm trying to get to 67. My point is
67. There we go.
you're playing 67 on the come out. You just wasted a 66 inside that you could have
Facts.
played, just waiting on a
Yeah.
point to be established.
Yeah. And think about how expensive that PSO would be, right? On that same person, right? Because
Yeah.
you lost 67, or let's say you lost 52 on the come out because your pass line didn't lose yet. Or I guess, and your ATS didn't lose, right? So you lost $37 straight in the middle.
Right.
Right. Then what are we going to do? Right. We know we're going to take odds on the pass line. Right. We're probably going to go 66 inside. Let's say they have another $60 out there invested. Bang. PSO comes. Boom. You're down 127 with the blink of an eye.
But you're down
Blink of an eye.
You're down 2 shooters worth. If that's
Yeah.
if that's the way you're playing with 66 inside, like you're down 2 shooters on 2 rolls.
And like, imagine you brought $500. Like,
Yep.
you're down almost a third of what you brought, or you're down a quarter, actually, quarter of what you brought. Congratulations. You just blew a quarter of your bankroll on 2 rolls. Was it worth it?
Because you really have to think about the buy-in. If you're talking about a $300 buy-in and you want to do enough for 10 shooters, best you can do is spend only $30 per shooter.
Yep.
Can't play a 6 and 8. That's 36.
Can't play. Yeah.
You can
can't
play a
any
5 and 9
center action.
or a 4 and 10 or a 4 5
Mhm.
or a 9 10.
Yeah.
You could play a pass line in a field for one, but you got to win
Yeah.
that pass line to get to the next shooter. Like,
Yeah.
I think a lot of the come out chaos, a lot of times, sometimes, because we know other people are. We said earlier in the previous episode that we just did that about if you're a $500 buy-in person and all of a sudden you bring 5,000, that doesn't give you authorization to just go buck wild.
Mhm.
But that's what people do. And if they're going to be playing with a small buy-in, you have no business playing all that shit on the come out roll. If you believe in the whole 10 shooter thing, that means you got $50 to play on every shooter. You don't have to play the pass line. You don't want to shoot. If you don't want to shoot, pass the dice. Now you have $50 to play on the boxes, or you can play any way you want, either hard ways or whatever. But that's what you have. It doesn't give you a lot of options, which is why we're saying you really need to have a $1,500, $2,000 buy-in because it gives you more options. It doesn't give you the right. $2,000 buy-in, $1,500 buy-in doesn't automatically give you the authorization to go shit-faced, face down in the prop section. But people do it. Yep. People do it, Chris.
All the time.
And
all the time.
It's like as soon they think it's a free shot. And it's like you got to stop thinking of the come out game, the come out roll as a free shot. It's not a free shot. It's a free shot. It's a free shot with a gun to your bankroll because you just shot yourself in the foot. And we just got done talking about what if you played like $100 total on just the come out roll and you have a $500 buy-in, and now all you have is a bonus bet and you have a pass line left out of that $100. Now what do you do? Okay, now you have less money to play in the boxes. So it's like, I don't know I'm not saying the lesson is don't play the believe, Chris and I learned through experience. Experience, that's key.
Yep.
We learned that, and we believe, this is FOC certified fresh, we believe that there are 2 games to this game. There's the come out game and there's the box game once a point's established. And Chris and I play them separately. They are not one and the same. A lot of times we will even divvy our buy-in up into 2 stacks. One stack is for the come out game and one stack's for the boxes. if you're going to play the come out game, you got to be able to separate it in your mind and separate your buy-in to play it. And once it's gone, stop playing the come out game.
Yep.
And again, stop playing the pass line on other people that you don't know. I see people all the time play pass line on every single shooter all day, every day. Now, if it's like my local, you can't play the bonus without playing a pass line, which kind of sucks. And the thing is, they're not very strict on all that all the time, Chris. There are plenty of casinos that sometimes, Harrah's hasn't always told you to play a pass line. It's a particular crew that when they come and they're like, you got to have a pass line if you want to play the bonus.
Yep. Yep.
And I'm not getting too derailed, but we also hate when people make you play action if you want to be the shooter next. That's just BS. There's nowhere in the rules that says you have to play minimum table action before you shoot. Anyway, I just want to throw that out there. But
No, that's a good point. It's true. It's true.
one other thing I wanted to say about the come out game is that people think this is a fresh start. They fall into the fresh start syndrome, and it just tricks players into making reckless bets. Now, we've talked about the reckless bets, and the prop section is basically convincing players that the come out roll resets the universe. It doesn't. It doesn't. It can just put you further in a hole.
Yep. No, it's true. It definitely can. And we're not saying not to play a come out game, right? Because we think the come out game is very, very important, and it can be used, like Craig said, right? We play it as two separate games almost, though, right? Come out game and then point phase, box game, whatever you want to call the second game. But there's no need to make it super complicated, convoluted, whatever you want to call it. Just keep it simple, play it simply, and don't go gangbusters on the come out looking for something, right? Yes, there's certain people who can throw horns with the best of them, and you may get them. Just keep it simple. Play something that's very easy to progress up, right? Again, we've adopted this over years of playing of how we play our current come out game, right? And that's not how we're going to play a come out game forever, possibly, right? We may change it, may adapt, we may do different things. You may see something we like, who knows, right? We may learn something new, okay? But it's simple, it's scalable, and it's without thought. Right? Like Craig said before, yeah, I forgot to place this piece of my convoluted bullshit that I was doing. That can screw you royally, right? My come out game, there's nothing really for me to forget. It's just automatic, comes out of my mouth with the chips in my hand and getting tossed to the middle. It's just like that. It's not, yeah, I'm going to make you work now, right? Give me $3 here, $2 here, give me $1 here, give me $5 here, hop this, blah, blah, blah. Stop with that. Once I start seeing that happen, I'm like, you know what? Honestly, Craig, I'm sitting there. If I'm shooting, I'm like, I don't even want to throw a friggin' horn now. I want to switch off my horn set that I like to throw on the come out, just throw it inside because I don't even want to see what the payouts look like, and I don't want to see what round 2 looks like of this.
Just spite the table.
Round 1 was screwed up enough. I don't want to see round 2.
What's funny is I wonder if the people who go gangbusters on the come out roll are the same people that if they go to a crapless table, they play the extremes and work them on the come out because they think it's part of the come out game.
Probably is. That's an interesting point though, because be honest, the come out game is reduced on crapless, right? I'm not saying it's totally reduced. You can still play your normal come out game on crapless. However, those horn progressions and those whirl progressions don't really exist because 2, 3, 11, 12 can be your point.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So I'm not saying you don't need a come out game to play crapless, because I still have a come out game when I play crapless. But I don't bet a whirl bet when I play crapless. That now you'll see me start going to the C&E and stuff, which I don't typically do on a regular table because of the whirl bet.
It's funny.
Right?
I like to go to the C&E once the point's established. If my rail is back to normal. And I want to commend you on your video today because a lot of what you were doing was making sure that your original buy-in was intact and you knew where you were at all times with your profit. And
Yep.
I thought that was really good bankroll management. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you. Funny enough, you'll like my video that's coming out also this week because all it is the world bet progression.
there you go. I'm gonna record it. I'm gonna watch it over and over and over again.
It's just like we were meant to talk about it this week. And funny enough, for people at home who think like actually this episode wasn't even supposed to be recorded this week. It was supposed to be next week, but that's a
Yeah.
whole other story for another day. It's kind of similar to our casinos killing the skilled shooters crack.
You know what? I think they've been doing it already. It's not like something happening today. It's been something that's been happening for now. Granted, I can only speak to the last 4 years, and it's been happening all 4 years I've been playing. But there are people,
Yep.
I'm sure, Jeff, Ed, Lou, all who have been playing 20 plus years could tell you they've been fucking with them for decades. Um, it's a spicy, controversial topic. I mean, if you dive into the growing suspicion that casinos aren't just, protecting the game, they're really disrupting rhythm shooters on purpose, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. I agree. And like it's the more that I've become experienced with craps, right? And the more that I play, obviously, like there's more things that I notice, especially at the tables. Now, I'm not talking solely about like the table itself, right? I'm talking about the personalities of the table, things that occur at the table during rolls and other stuff, but like they're definitely doing something, right? And like just think about it with there's no such thing as a standard craps table,
No, not
right?
anymore.
It doesn't exist. There is no standard, right? All you know is that it's got to have certain aspects on it, right? But the playing surface, there's different playing surfaces. There's different underlayments. The heights of the table are different. The size of the table, right? Like, we all talk about 12-foot, 14-foot crafts tables, right? There's nothing that says the table has to be 12 foot from this point to this point. Like, if you measure my table behind me, it's a 12-foot table. You measure my table behind me, it is not 12 foot from wall to wall. It's not.
Right.
I've measured it before. It's not, right? And like, you go to a casino, Harris, for example, in Atlantic City, their tables are all different heights.
But on top of that, they're all different layouts. None of
Yeah.
them are, I think they have one standard layout that just has, and standard probably would be, it includes ATS.
Mm-hmm.
But now they got crapless, coming this summer, or maybe it's already there. They've got
It's there.
Firebet, ATS, a table that has both Firebet and ATS. Like now they're cramming it all onto the layout. Like crapless Firebet with Lucky Shooter and maybe throw a bubble machine on top of the rail. Like it's getting ridiculous, these crap layout. But you're right. Obviously, they've made him bouncier over the decades because people are winning money being controlled or influenced shooters. And
Yeah.
they punish us for wanting to just be able to try to win more money than most and try to avoid the 7. That's the only reason you have dice influencers anyway. They're trying to hold off the 7 as long as they can to make more
Mm-hmm.
money. It
Yep.
doesn't mean they can't make money with the 7. It just means they're trying to hold off that 7 a little bit longer than the average shooter. If the average shooter is 6 to 8, I would say the average dice influencer wants to at least be between 10 and 20 on average. And a lot of times you've got really good shooters who have thrown 60, 70 some rolls in a row. My highest is 49. Chris, I think you're high. Are you over 50 for one of your?
Yeah, I actually don't know my highest roll count. I know time-wise how long it was. I've been charted at 63 once. But I know my roll that was longer. I had a longer roll than that. That I don't know how many rolls it was
But did
actually.
you?
So
But and the reason I'm bringing this up is, at any point during that roll, did the pit crew insert themselves with some ridiculous rule, some
yep.
ridiculous like parameter or something they're telling you to do, or maybe they
Mm-hmm.
tried to change your rhythm while you were playing?
100%. Like I've told this story before too, and this is the one that I don't actually know the count of rolls. I just know approximately how long the roll was. But it was almost 2 hours the roll, and it was in the beginning, right? Like it was standard, right? Nothing was going on. Then like more suits started coming down, right? To the point where because there was some large bets on the table. And me being a young DGen, not knowing how to bet properly, I was afraid to go above black chip on anything because like I literally bought into the table for like $200. So when I had like 640 across at one point, I was like, holy shit, like I just need to keep collecting and keep bringing money back. But be that as it may, throughout the roll, more suits started coming down from upstairs. The pit boss is trying to talk to me while I'm shooting, like asking me, "Are you staying here tonight? You got a room? Like I got a suite for you." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm sure you do." Like all this kind of stuff. And yeah, they do try to, interact with you to the point where me and my buddy were on the table. We had our own drink girl for the two of us. There was another drink lady for the rest of the table. Craig, let me know when the last time you saw a drink girl dedicated to a table, let alone two drink ladies dedicated to a table. Like, not just roaming around the pit, dedicated to the table. These ladies would not leave until somebody said, "Hey, I need another one of these." They'd go get it and bring it right back. I've never seen that in all my time in a casino. I've never seen that happen before. Why?
I've never seen that.
Because they want you to be drunk, right? They want the people at the table to be drinking more because hopefully that'll make them make stupider decisions when they're playing,
No,
right? They want to keep feeding the drinks to me, hoping that I'm going to start to like lose focus. Let me tell you something. At that time, I didn't have a freaking clue what focus was. I was just shooting. And like, yeah, I had a set that I was throwing, but I was all over the place, and I'll be the first one to admit it. Like that roll, pure luck.
that's funny. No, you're right. It's not just like the drink ladies that you had, but it's that you were getting noticed by the pit crew. And here's the thing: the dealers are like the bottom feeders of the pit crew. Like they're there to collect the bets, payouts, and all this stuff. But it's the stick person who's the one watching the throw and watching how it lands and calling out the dice results. But then if it goes above a certain number, pit boss comes over. Now he's the supervisor of watching the dice. And it's like, it's an intimidation factor, part of it. But to me, Chris, it's like things just change. Like we talked about the layouts before, how they just punish controlled throws or influence throws. But it's like the shorter back walls. We've seen back walls go from a flat part of the back wall to be 4 feet. I mean, a basic standard craps table is what? 4 feet wide, a little over 4 feet. And then like the flat part of before it hooks, the flat part is about 3 feet long. Well, now, like my local, that flat part's been reduced to just 2 feet.
And it's curves like, more.
It wants more curvature. They would love it if it was just a complete half circle. Is what they would want.
They would like you to throw it in a bowl that the dice have to literally settle at the bottom of the bowl every time.
But that's the thing. And it's not just that. It's the combination of that. It's the combination of the stick crew speeding up the pace to break the rhythm. Obviously, they do dice swaps every time dice go off table, unless you ask for same dice. But I've seen dice swaps without even anything prompting it. And and it happened to happen on a long roll. Like for some, as if some reason the dice were damaged, even though they never hit anything but the felt during the 35 roller. Like there was no need to dice swap. Why are you swapping dice? I didn't ask for it. And then it's like the pit bosses are like, they're like, they don't like this or they don't like that. They don't like your slow pace. They don't like this intentional stuff you're doing. And it's like, they're telling you this. And you're like, that's where you've seen people that we talk to, veterans of this game, say, show me where it is in the manual for craps that I can't do this or I can't take my time on this. Now, there are some tables who have more crap on their placard than really needed, other than table minimum and the odds, 3, 4 to 5 times odds. But some of them I've seen that say throw the dice within 5 seconds.
Yep.
Okay. It doesn't mean I'm not going to teach myself how to set the dice in 3 and toss with the other 2 seconds. Like every time they put a rule in, Chris, we in the craps community find a way to adapt.
Mm-hmm.
And then
You have to.
we extend beyond the adaptation and we become proficient at it.
Yeah, it's true.
But it's like the rules are getting ridiculous.
They
I
are.
understand that you can't throw dice above the stick person's eye level. Sure, it's a dumb rule, but I've actually seen people launch the dice so high, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, are you trying to throw it to the roulette table? Like, But I've actually seen, Chris, I have a high arch on my throw.
Mm-hmm.
I've always had a high arch on my throw, or arc, whatever you want to say. I've seen my dice land and then bounce over the person who's at the end of the table. It didn't hit them. It bounced over top of them. That's how bouncy the table was.
Yeah.
And it's like they do it because they say they want more randomness. The dice are random in itself. The only rule I ever understood that they put into play was you can't slide the dice. Because you could set the dice and then slide them and whatever. That's the only rule. Other than that, whatever those dice hit, it's random.
Yeah. Well, and like you said, right, with the different table services, but then even like with the back walls, you have 5 rows of diamonds on some tables, you got 7 rows of diamonds on other tables, right? And then talking about, the crazy rules, like dice got to hit the back wall, right? Well, what tends to happen on a longer roll is like they are watching to make sure those dice hit, and like it could be your very first time not hitting the back wall, and they're on you. Got to hit the back wall. Got to hit the back wall. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. The first 33 rolls hit the back wall. 34 didn't. Like, my bad. And like, I'm the type who I will say that to them. I'll be like, you didn't tell me good job for hitting the back wall 33 times in a row, but whoops, one of the die didn't hit. My bad. And like, with the no roll or like that kind of stuff, now you don't see that a lot of times in like land-based casinos. Now on cruise ships, you do a lot. With the no roll, if like they're hitting the back wall and stuff. But like the definition of like a quality or valid roll for like, it depends on who's the box, who's the pit. Like it's so subjective with that kind of stuff. And they usually only comment on it when it's a good roll or it's an egregious error. Right? Like if you egregiously don't hit the back wall, they'll say something to you. But like if you're coming close, they won't say anything until you start creeping up the roll count. Then it's, hey, got to hit the back roll. We're going to pass the dice. All right. And what do most people do when that happens? Start throwing a little bit harder. Oh, here we go. Like we all know what's coming next.
Chris, you and I were at Parks, and there was an old lady at the end, and she couldn't get the dice past halfway. She just didn't have the arm strength. She was a fragile woman, little woman. She couldn't get him past the halfway mark of the table. They mentioned it to her, but they kept letting her roll. Like I've seen the same thing at the local, Chris. Like they literally will tell you, "Sir, you have to hit the back wall. If you don't hit the back wall, I'm gonna have to take dice from you," and they don't. Or when they do, they don't do it for the next shooter. And it's like, stop being hypocritical with your rules because you're making them up on the fly and it's pissing us off.
Yeah, the rules change from person to person.
From casino to casino.
And like you said with that lady at Parks, like I'm telling you, I mean, she could have put every ounce of her strength. She was not hitting that back wall. Right. I mean, I think her longest toss barely made it halfway through the field on our half of the table.
Yeah.
Like it just like it wasn't going to happen and it wasn't a problem. But, my incident that I had there, I splashed chips and they gave me shit for it.
Here's the debate, Chris. Is dice influence real or is it just really annoying to casinos?
That's a whole episode or multiple episodes on that one. Let's be honest. Like
well, it might be.
That's crazy. It might be. One other thing too with the skilled shooter piece of it is the evolution of the electronic games, right? The electronic games, bubble craps, all those, they're open 24/7, 365. Have like there's less tables open because those are open now.
Yeah.
So, like, some of these casinos only have one table open. Well, they're naturally hindering a shooter because there's less available space on the game because there's only one game open,
You
right?
couldn't be
It's a
further
whole
from the
nother
truth.
side of the debate.
You couldn't be further from the truth because, and I can't believe that it actually happens. Like, I get it. My local, they don't open their craps tables until 9 a.m. Okay,
Mhm.
fine. They're local. I wouldn't expect local to be a Vegas type casino or even Atlantic City type casino. I haven't been to Biloxi, so I don't know. 2 casinos right across the bay from each other, Harrah's and Tropicana. Harrah's has tables going 24/7. Tropicana doesn't open their tables till noon.
Yeah,
Noon, Chris.
I know.
Noon. Jesus Christ. Noon? Harris has had like 7 hours of play before you get to put your chips to felt at the Tropicana. But why do we
Yep.
like the Tropicana? Because it has a hard service.
Mm-hmm.
And we like their blackjack.
And we like their blackjack.
But that's the thing, man. It's like let the audience decide if the casino is neutral or is it quietly just anti-skill? Because I think they're anti-skill.
I would tend to agree so. I would tend to agree so.
I don't see any pit crews going over to the roulette table saying you can't put that many chips on the felt. You got to pick
Yep.
like 3. You got to pick like 3 numbers.
Yeah. They don't stop that.
Again, it's
And
the
there's
only
not a
table game.
protocol on where your hands can go on the roulette table. It's only once they stop the bets, you can't put any more bets. But like, I mean, shit, I can reach all the way across the table and do whatever I want on roulette. It don't matter.
But that's the thing we've always been saying, Chris. Craps is the only table game where they make up the rules as they go.
It's true. It is true.
Jackass.
Well, Craig, rules, protocols, whatever we want to call them. Is it time for our top 5?
I think it's time for the top 5.
It's time for our top 5. And our top 5 today are the top 5 new dice protocols that feel more like disruption than security.
Interesting. I don't know where I pulled that one from, but
I don't either.
I don't even know how these are going to hit, but we'll see.
We'll find out. I don't know. Give us number 5.
All right, I'll give you number 5. My number 5 is the hyper frequent dice swap. We just got done talking about it, but it's like having security roll up on you and say, "Sir, we need you to stop rolling well. Try these." Like I was doing fine without you, pal. Like I don't need your help.
There you go. Yeah. No, it's true. It's true. My number 5 is the expansion of alternate forms of craps, which I just brought up not too long ago with crapless and bubble craps and all that kind of stuff. But it seems like, a lot of the skilled shooters focus on traditional craps. So how can we fuck with them? Well, let's introduce some new games, some new different layouts and other stuff. Stadium, roll to win, like let's throw everything we can at them.
Take the dice completely out of your hands. Really,
Literally.
and put them in a cage.
Bubble,
where
you can't.
where
There's
you
no
can't
dice
even
in your
interfere.
hands.
You can't even
No.
interfere.
Nope.
All right, that's a good one. My number 4, the over aggressive stick push. We've been there before. You're throwing the dice. You got a nice even flow. It's like everything's white noise. You're just so in line and focused and concentrated. But no, the stick person delivers the dice like a fastball to break your rhythm. They deliver it to you like it. Sometimes I've actually had my hand hit by the stick because they brought the dice back so quick. I was like, you're not even giving me a chance to like make a bet progression. Like you already got the dice. Like you just hit my hand. It's like, it's annoying. It's annoying.
It is annoying. The Philly and me want to slap the stick right out of their hand if they did that to me. All right, my number 4 may sound a little familiar. Increased dice rotation and changing out dice protocols. Some of the gaming commissions have actually put laws into place on this that were stimulated by the casinos. I'm not going to go through all of them. I have a couple of them, but and it's not consistent state by state. It's state dependent on when the dice need to be changed. My other thing is when the dice go off the table, sometimes you get a pit who is sitting there not good, fine. And then sometimes they need to go get their monocle out of their pocket and really investigate the dice. Hey, jackass, it landed on carpet. Nothing happened to it.
I love that. The pit boss, they're like, give it to the pit boss. He's like, okay, what are you doing beyond 2 seconds?
Literally. Yeah.
Again, it's carpeted. It's a fucking maze in here of carpet. It hit carpet. Yeah. There are no hard floors for it to hit on. Nope. I would rather see you inspect it if it hit the rail.
Yeah. And I know you're looking to make sure it's the same dice. That's not a problem, but it doesn't take, a lot of time. And some of them sit there. And my favorite, I wish I had a pair of dice on me right now. I don't. But they put the corners in their fingers and they start spinning it like they're that machine. I'm like, oh my God, get your fat fingers off the dice because you cannot spin it like that machine can spin it. I think it's spinning at thousands of RPMs per minute. You would cut your fingers open if you could spin it that fast.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's unbelievable. It really is.
It's crazy.
All right. My number 3, which we also touched upon the touch nothing rule. Suddenly everything is against policy. Sir, you must hit the back wall. Sir, if the dice hit player's chips, it's a no roll, except if it's up to the 7 rolls. Then we'll accept it.
Yep. That's so true. So true. My number 3 is the over enforcement or lack of enforcement of no roll protocols. Sometimes it's a no roll. Sometimes it's a warning. Sometimes we just don't give a shit. What's the rule on it? That's a great question. Depends on who's behind the table to let you know what the ruling is.
This next one, number 2, happens to be more of a problem I have with stick people. And that's if the dice land and I ask you to hand them to me the way that they landed. Why is that a rule? Why do you have to flip it? Why do you have to flip it before you give it to me? Why can't you just give it to me the way it landed? You pulled it over to the prop section and it still says what I rolled. Why can't you just roll it that way to me? No. This is where you get idiots who then send you a 6-1 on top. You're like, oh, thanks, dickhead. You just pick them up, turn your bets off, chuck them. I can't believe you made me waste a roll because you're dumb.
Yeah, very, very true. Very, very true. All right, my number 2 is the Stickman Clown Show. When they decide that they are the most entertaining person in the entire casino and they have to put on a show, passing you the dice or doing whatever they're doing with the dice, they have to make it a spectacle about themselves rather than just giving the person the dice and letting them toss.
And it's facts. All right, my number 1, and Chris took my thunder earlier, the mid-session dice inspection. Now, my take on it was not the spinning, which I thought was hilarious, Chris, but it's that they do it. It's always right after someone gets hot. Always. That's all I had.
Yeah, it's true. My number 1 we touched on earlier, but my number 1 is the stadium of people that build around a hot roll. Magically, once we start getting into larger and larger rolls, everybody in the casino who works there needs to come and stand by the table. Not only is it the box man and the pit boss watching, now we have a new suit from upstairs. We got this guy coming from the bar, maybe, who knows. Magically, we have a audience watching the tosses. Why? I don't think they know.
I think because in Vegas, they probably had the air marshal come too, just to escort you to the plane. Yeah.
I mean, hell, bring one of the call girls over too at this point. I'm sure she can watch too, right? What are we doing here? You got everybody coming over.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, what they do sometimes to us craps players. And it's really the only game, you said it, it's really the only game that you get this kind of interaction and this kind of stuff that happens. But it happens. It certainly does.
100%.
Great top five though, Craig. I enjoyed that one. It was definitely a
Yeah,
tricky top five, but I think
it
we
was.
navigated that one quite nice. And what is our tip of the episode?
All right, our tip of the episode: respect the dice when they're talking back. Now, we've talked about before, dice don't give a shit, dice don't care, but us craps and people in the craps community, us players who love this game, respect the dice when they're talking back. When the dice start sending signals, weird bounces, stubborn numbers, sudden cold streaks, don't fight them, don't argue, don't prove a point. Respect the dice, adjust your bets, and protect your bankroll. Remember, the dice don't care about your ego, but they will absolutely punish it.
Yes, they will. The dice are the quickest humblers I've ever met. I mean, they can humble you quicker than a woman can sometimes.
I don't want to find out.
Someone's gonna give me some flack for that, but it's okay. No, great tip. You gotta listen to the dice. Some people may call it superstition. Some people may just call it being smart. I personally don't lump that in with superstition. There's certain things that are superstition. Listening to the dice and reading what's going on, not a piece of superstition in DGen's mind. But overall, Craig, great episode. Really enjoyed the opening of talking about food. That was so fun.
That was
And then we rope it back into craps, talked about some good topics, revisited the Comeout game, and talk about killing the skilled shooters. It's not talked about enough, I feel like.
they're trying. They're doing their best.
They're trying. They're trying. Well, folks, let us know your thoughts on the casinos trying to kill the skilled shooters. Send us an email, FullofChipsPodcast@gmail.com. Full-length episodes on YouTube, Spotify, Apple. Short-form content is on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and Facebook. And the Patreon link is down below. Feel free to go join. And Craig, take us out on episode 57.
And that's where we'll leave it. The Comeout chaos, the anti-shooter nonsense, and the dice protocol nobody asked for. And the reminder that dice always talk louder than the casino's excuses. So the next time the house tries to bounce your throw into oblivion, remain sharp, remain stubborn, and roll gloriously, keeping your rail full of chips.
On the